Welcome to the channel that celebrates a personal and a global journey towards veganism. Bread has been a staple food of humans for most of our existence as a species. It is also a powerful symbol of the Christian faith, with the Bible mentioning it nearly 500 times. Although wheat flour is the most commonly used ingredient in bread making, a variety of other flours have also been employed, and the product can take many forms. Indeed, Wikipedia lists an incredible 197 types of bread. In modern times, many chemical additives have been employed in the production of loaves, and since 2010, the Real Bread campaign, run by Sustain, the Alliance for Better Food and Farming, has been celebrating additive-free bread through its annual International Real Bread Week. This year's event runs from the 19th to the 27th of February, and we are all being encouraged to bake our own bread, which can be fun, even therapeutic. I've enjoyed bread making for many years, but I recently bought a Morphy Richards Fast Bake Bread Maker to speed up the process on those occasions when I don't have the time to do all the work by hand. And I have to admit that I've been really impressed with the results. The gadget has been worth every penny I spent on it. If this idea appeals to you and you decide to get a bread maker yourself, check out this link, which also appears in the description below the video. Although I get commission on any purchases made using this affiliate link, please note that this won't cost you a penny extra. The commission costs are borne entirely by Amazon. Anyway, I've decided to give you just one example here of the sort of additive-free loaves that I've been enjoying of late using this labour-saving device. I hope it whets your appetite. You too could soon be enjoying the smell of freshly baked bread around your home with a minimum of effort. Before starting, you should grease the inside of the baking pan and the kneading blade. I personally find this easiest with a spray. For the purposes of this demonstration, I baked a French-style loaf, and only a small one, a 1-pound loaf. Most of the recipes in the booklet that comes with the bread maker include skimmed milk powder, but this isn't necessary to produce a good result, so we vegans can completely ignore this item. For adding the ingredients to the baking pan, I personally prefer to have the latter out on the worktop, as this avoids the risk of spillages inside the bread maker itself. Add the ingredients in the order specified in the recipe. Water first. Then sugar and salt, followed by the oil, the flour comes next, and finally the yeast. It's important that this doesn't come into direct contact with the salt. Once all the ingredients have been added, the baking pan is inserted into the bread maker. To operate the bread maker, first turn on at the mains. The display will appear. On the left is the program number, while the duration of the program appears on the right. The crust setting, light, medium or dark, is top left, and the loaf size top right. First set the program using the menu button. Click once to set it to number 2. Then decide what crust setting you want. I like the darkest one. There are 3 settings which you can cycle through. Next, set the loaf size. Only 1.5 pound and 2 pound loaf sizes are offered, but for 1 pound loaves such as this, use the 1.5 pound setting. Finally, you press the Start-Stop button and mixing will commence immediately. Initially, the mixing will be intermittent. Don't worry if some flour seems to remain stuck in the corners to begin with. It will gradually be picked up as mixing continues. During operation, there will be periods of intermittent and continuous mixing, as well as resting intervals. The machine will often stay silent for extended periods. Gradually, the dough will come together into a ball. Around 1 hour into the program, there will be a loud bleep. Ignore this, it's for some other recipes where additional ingredients can be added partway through, like dried fruit, for example. The one potential disadvantage of baking using a bread maker is that the kneading blade would normally remain buried in the base of the loaf and would have to be dug out after baking. However, this can be avoided by removing it when all the mixing has been completed, but before baking begins. This can be done when there's just 1 hour and 40 minutes left to run. By this time, the dough has increased in size considerably and will be covering the base of the pan. Push it away from the kneading blade and hook this out. You'll find it easiest to do using a whisk. When baking is complete, the bread maker will signal the end of the program with a long series of bleeps, and the display will have reached time 0. Turn the machine off at the mains and remove the baking pan using oven gloves. It will be really hot. Tip the loaf out onto a cooling rack. Larger loaves come out fairly readily, but smaller loaves like this may need a bit more coaxing. Note that there will be a small round hole in the base of the loaf caused by the spindle. If the blade hadn't been removed earlier as suggested, this is where it would still be buried and would need to be dug out carefully. I hope you found this demonstration useful and that you'll be encouraged to get a bread maker yourself. Don't forget to check out the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.